There once again, Julius Randle, the #3 player in the ESPN 100, the top-ranked power forward in his class, getting ready to decide where he's going to college. They'll make that announcement here on ESPNU in just a few moments. Right now, we bring in one of our recruiting analysts, Paul Biancardi. Paul, you've had a chance to scout Julius Randle all season and throughout his prep career. What kind of skill set does he bring to the table?
Well, he dominates the game with his physicality. He's explosive, strong, and powerful at the rim. His body, it's ready for the college game right now. And he's best in the paint. By scoring and rebounding, he can dominate the action. When you think about Julius Randle, you think about a dynamic athlete. The bottom line is this: his versatility, skill level, and athletic ability are uncommon for a player his size. Once his game gets in motion, it's hard to stop or contain him. He creates fouls and finishes at the rim. He's going to impact the college game next season.
Paul, who does he remind you of?
Wayman Tisdale from Oklahoma. A little bit more athletic and dynamic, but a strong, powerful athlete inside.
All right, time now to bring in the man of the hour, Julius Randle, who's standing by in his home state of Texas, ready to make the biggest announcement of his high school career. Julius, before you unveil where you're going to school, describe to us what this whole recruiting process has been like for you.
It's been amazing, you know. I've had a lot of fun with it. You know, a lot of great things have happened, and you know, it's just been an amazing process for me.
It's a little loud in there, I can imagine. You didn't really get a chance to play much this season. You didn't really get a chance to play much this season because of an injury that you had. How did that affect your senior year in terms of recruiting?
You know, it was hard for me to not be able to play, but, you know, I learned a lot off the court. My body got a lot of rest, and, you know, I came back better, and, you know, I couldn't ask for better people around me to support me through my injury, but I'm here now. You know, it's a great feeling. All
right, you've got 4 hats on the table. It's the moment of truth. Where will you be playing basketball next season?
Okay, but before I decide, I want to first, you know, thank God for blessing me with the opportunities that He's blessed me with. My mom for always being there. You know, I can't say enough about what she's done in my life. My godfather and godmother, Jeff and Thyra Webster, you know, they take care of me all the time. It's like a second family to me. The Trout family, you know, they've done so much for me throughout my career and, you know, helped me out so much. And I couldn't ask for better people. You know, I really appreciate it. Family and friends, you know, I couldn't thank you so much. You guys know who you are. I want to thank my school, Prestonwood Christian Academy. You know, you guys have been great to me throughout this whole year since I came here in 7th grade. You know, I couldn't ask for better people again. And lastly, I want to thank the universities who gave me the opportunity, the chances to come to their school. You know, I couldn't be more happy with the choices I have. And, you know, it's really been a blessing getting to know you guys. But with that being said, next year I'll be playing for the University of Kentucky.
Julius Randle has just committed to the University of Kentucky, adding to what is already the top recruiting class in the nation. Julius, as you soak it in, as you get ready to be a part of Big Blue Nation, what made you choose Kentucky?
You know, like I said, I loved all the schools, I loved all the coaches and everything, but, you know, the final straw came to me was the system, and I felt like the system at Kentucky, you know, was a great system. You know, they have a lot of great players there going in there, so, you know, you're going to have to battle. But, you know, I think like they did the year before, you know, the team's been a unit. And, you know, I play USA basketball with a lot of great players, so, you know, I think I'll adjust well. And, you know, I think it's the best fit for me. It's where it was in my heart. I want to be at Kentucky.
There's a lot of blue chippers going to Kentucky next fall, as is always the case. Some guys want to go to a school where they can be the guy. What made you excited to go play with a collection of great players?
You know, just I did it this summer, you know, when I played for the USA team. And I knew that I was able to play with great players. And, you know, to be able to battle with those guys every day in practice is only going to make me better and, you know, help me prepare for the next level. So, you know, playing with great players wasn't really It was a plus for me. It wasn't a negative at all.
Did you watch the Kentucky game last night?
I did not watch the game last night. I was out to dinner with my family, but I heard about it.
I'm sure you have it. I'm sure it'll be motivation for a lot of the guys coming back next season. Julius, congratulations on your decision. Best of luck in Lexington next fall.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, let's bring back Paul Biancardi. Paul, we had a chance to hear Julius Randle make the announcement that he's going to Kentucky next season. What kind of team are we looking at next year with the Wildcats, with the Harrison twins, and now Julius Randle in the #1 recruiting class in the nation?
The #1 power forward in the nation took the #1 recruiting class in the country and elevated it to maybe the best of all time. Julius Randle could be the missing piece to help Kentucky get back to a Final Four. It's a 7-man class, 6 in the top 20, 4 in the top 10. And when you look at the size across the board at this class, you have a power forward at 6'9", a small forward at 6'7", a pair of guards at 6'5", centers at 6'10" and 6'11". This class is outstanding. John Calipari now has the challenge of putting this talented unit together, make it cohesive so they can make a run in March.
Yeah, we just saw that a year ago when they did it with Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Teague and those guys. Paul, with this group of players that Kentucky has coming in, how do you evaluate the class as a whole in terms of, is this high school class considered one of the better classes that we've had in the last few years?
I think it could be the best class of all time in terms of offensive efficiency. This class can score the basketball. They can shoot the three-point shot. They can beat you off the drive. They score the basketball from their respective position, as well as any class that John Calipari has had at Kentucky. Now, hopefully, for Kentucky's sake, you have Kyle Wiltshire, Ryan Harrow coming back. Are some of the freshmen going to return? We don't know. This class is going to need some help. But as this class stands alone, it could be the best of all time.
All right, thank you, Paul. If you're just joining us, Julius Randle, the #3 player in the ESPN 100, committed to Kentucky just moments ago here on the ESPNU airwaves. And Ish Shroff, Dino Gaudio, Matt Doherty. Matt, Randle's from Texas. You coached last in Texas. You had a chance to see this kid and watch him play in high school. What jumped out to you?
Well, I've seen Julius since he's been probably a 9th, 10th grader. And the thing that jumps out is his ability, his physical size. I think Paul hit it on the head. Wayman Tisdale with a little bit more perimeter game. He can handle the ball. He can shoot the jump shot. And the thing I like about him is maturity. He's surrounded by good people. His mother, his Jeff Webster, who played at Oklahoma, Kenny Trout. So that's the thing about some of these freshmen, I think, at Kentucky. They're immature. He's going to be a mature freshman.
Dino, you were in Lexington when Randle made a visit to Kentucky. What did you see from the young man?
Well, first of all, he's an outstanding young man. I didn't have any contact with him, but a level playing field in college athletics is an illusionary concept. Some have better facilities, more money, bigger budgets. What Kentucky has, I think, is maybe unprecedented. During his visit, Anish, I was there for a fantasy camp. So they brought back, Coach Cal brought back the '96 team, playing against old guys, 35, 40-year-old men. There are 12,000 people in Rupp Arena for that kind of game. So this young man was on an unofficial visit, I believe, at the time, just saw the game. And the Wildcat Lodge, the facilities, the locker rooms, it's unbelievable. It's hard to turn it down.
It's amazing, isn't it? Here we are, less than 24 hours removed from Kentucky losing in their first NIT game to Robert Morris on the road. Talk radio, Sports Center, everybody going nuts. Kentucky losing to Robert Morris, and now all of a sudden, Julius Randle going to be a part of Big Blue Nation. And the prospects for this team, listen, they're still freshmen. A lot can happen, but all of a sudden the prospects for this team for Kentucky next year, do they go in automatically as the favorite to win it all?
I don't know if they go in automatically as the favorite to win it all, but I like the maturity, the mental toughness. We've talked a lot about what are the key ingredients to make a run to the Final Four. One of them, firstly, it's talent. They got it. Secondly, it's coaching. They got it. Third, it's mental toughness, and they've got it because Julius Randle is a mentally tough kid. And the Harrison twins, I've seen those kids a lot because they're from the Houston area. they're almost NBA ready. They will physically pound you almost like two Marcus Smarts on the floor at the same time.
One of the things that Calipari was challenged with this team this year was when I was at practice, and I probably saw him practice 6, 7 times, there was no competition in practice. He didn't have the numbers. Guys weren't able to go head-to-head. With the class that we just saw coming in, and a lot of those guys that are there at Kentucky now will probably be back, there'll be tremendous competition in practice for spots, and Calipari will then have his fist over that team again. Some of those guys can't hold him hostage.
That's the scene at Julius Randle's high school. It appears he's about to cut down the nets. He just made his decision to go to Kentucky just a few minutes back here on ESPNU. And I know John Calipari hopes to see this same scene play out again sometime next April.
And it very well could. And hey, remember this. Everybody's talking about Kentucky getting beat by Robert Morris. This is how fragile it is. If Nerlens Noel doesn't blow his knee out, that team's in the NCAA tournament. They're probably in the Sweet 16 or deeper. I think people are losing their minds over maybe what happened. Robert Morris, very good basketball team. Tough to go on the road and win anywhere. But you got to be a little lucky, Coach Daugherty. If Nerlens Noel's there, different story.
Well, I coached North Carolina, and my starting team consisted of 2 sophomores, 3 freshmen. Back before that was kind of what was happening. Sean May, my starting center. We go from not being ranked to 12th in the country, beat Kansas, beat Stanford in the preseason NIT, win the preseason NIT. Sean May breaks his foot at Christmas time. We don't make the NCAA tournament, and I turn into a broadcaster.
You know, it's funny. John Calipari has his critics who some may not approve of him essentially hitting the refresh button every season, bringing in one-and-done freshmen. But, you know, this season was the outlier. He's always won with this style in recent times.
Listen, you don't apologize for recruiting the best players in the country. And at Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, UCLA, Indiana, Arizona, that's what you do. And it's just right now, they're one and done. That's what's going on because of the NBA rules. We can't control that as college coaches. So what do you, don't recruit the best talent?
Nobody's telling this kid, I don't want you to come to my school because you might be one and done. No one's telling Nerlens Noel, nah, forget about it, you might be one and done. That's not happening.
And what Cal said yesterday after the game, you know, some of these kids come in with the mindset of one and done, then reality hits them in the face, and they might become 3- and 4-year players. And you know what? That's okay. Julius
Randle committing to Kentucky here on the ESPNU airwaves. But, of course, the matter at hand. What happens tomorrow, the first day of the NCAA tournament in earnest? When we come back, we'll hear from more coaches and players from around the country and more from Michigan State.